wow, we would have never on our own have written the script for us to be here right now tonight. So
ready or not,
let's
here
do
we
it.
go.
Let's do it. Trying to have children for the last 9 years, and in that time we discovered that we had some struggles with infertility.
I can't wait to see what the next 12 hours or so holds. Tonight we could be going back to our hotel in California with our baby boy, and that's the hope that I'm holding on to. In a matter of hours, what I've always, for so many years, have wanted and prayed for is going to happen.
You know, the whole trip is it's all been about closing the distance between us and our son. I can't believe that we're this close. Anytime I think about adoption, I think about my spiritual adoption, about how Jesus went to infinitely greater lengths to adopt me into the family of God. What a privilege it is to, in a smaller way, in a human way, live out some of the truths of the gospel.
The peace and the joy that we're feeling is absolute evidence of hundreds of people. I mean, I believe there are hundreds of people that are praying for us tonight.
The nurse just asked us if we're excited to meet our son, and I paused for a second there because I think it's the first time that I heard someone else refer to him as our son.
It's kind of like it's been years, but now it's like we're down to just minutes. You know, and as we walk in, it's going to be seconds, and it's hard to believe that this may be the last few minutes of us just being a family of two.
He's dying for dying, so I'm not sure if he's going to have color dyes or not.
It's fine.
What'd you name him?
Jacob.
Jacob. See, look at just now he's not gonna wake and he's already looking for
Buddy.
Here, I got a rocking chair for you guys.
Okay.
What's going? Waited so long to meet you.
Oh my gosh. He's like the most beautiful baby I've ever seen.
Hi, Jacob. I'm your dad. You have no idea. You have no idea how many people have prayed for you. It's all going to be okay now, buddy.
The nurse showed us, even on his little tag, that his identity was baby boy. He didn't belong to anybody. He didn't have a name. But in the very instant where the nurse looked at us and said, "So what's his name?" And we both said together, "His name is Jacob." And that very moment, instantaneously, he belonged to us. He had a name, and he was known.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to ask this, but how do you make that stop? Is he hungry?
We'd have to ask the nurse.
We prayed for a child, but in our prayers, there wasn't a face and there wasn't a name. We were just praying for a child, and we were just asking God to give us a child. It wasn't just a child that we were waiting for. It wasn't just a child that God intended to bring into our family. And those years of waiting weren't just because God decided He wanted us to wait an arbitrary number of years or go through an arbitrary experience. All those years and all the waiting, all those prayers were for Him, for Jacob, for our son. Well, it's been 10 months now since we've gotten Jacob. When I look at him and when I think about his future, I have so many hopes. My hope for Jacob is that God would be glorified through his life, through his story, not just his adoption story, but the story of his life and the chapters of which are still to be written.
I can't wait to be able to see how many years the Lord allows us to be His parents, and to continue to just revel in the moments of being parents.
It's ultimately God's story that we're a part of. And we always pray that Jacob would know Jesus Christ, and pray that God would adopt Jacob twice. He adopted him to our family, and we pray that He will adopt him into the family of God.